Develop a killer whale communication. 7 lessons you cannot do without. Imagine this for a moment. You are in the middle of the ocean, surrounded by silence, when suddenly you hear it. A complex melody of clicks, whistles, calls. That is the language of killer whales, one of the most intelligent and collaborative species on Earth. Now, what if I told you that by learning from them, you could transform how you connect, influence, and lead? So let's dive in and unlock the secrets of killer whale communication. I've always loved killer whales. There is something majestic and inspiring about the way they move, how they communicate, and how they work together as a team. I could personally watch documentaries about them for hours, especially, and I'm sure you can relate if you've watched them as well, especially when they go hunting together with such precision. That's why I decided to share today 7 lessons that we can all learn from killer whales to improve how we communicate and connect with others. So let's do this. Let's dive right in. Number 1, tailored communication. Use your dialects. Killer whales don't just speak. They have these dialects, their unique ways of communicating within their pods. Now, by the way, in case you're wondering, Jose, what are you talking about? What are the pods? Well, these are their families, their teams. Each pod has a unique language which helps them build trust and connection. So for us, in this case, having a dialect means agreeing, very important, agreeing on how we want to communicate with one another. For example, are we being clear? Are we being intentional? Are we aligned? This applies to teams, to families, and even one-on-one relationships. So my invitation is for you to take a moment to ask yourself, have I agreed on how I communicate with the people in my life? Number 2, echolocate your message. Ensure clarity and resonance. Orcas use this echolocation to find their way in dark and murky waters. So this is their way of being absolutely clear and precise. So similarly, clarity in communication is essential, and we have discussed this plenty in previous videos. But here is the twist. It is not just about being clear. It's about making sure your message is resonating with your audience. Does it make sense to them? Are they giving you feedback that shows they truly understand? Of course, listen to the feedback you receive, because it's the best indicator of whether your message is landing or getting lost in the waves. Number 3, nonverbal mastery. Be intentional with your body language. Key in communication, absolutely. Because sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you move. Orcas, you may have seen them, they slap their tails, they breach to surface, and that's how they communicate emotions and intentions. In our communication, our body language is just as powerful. So my question to you, are you being intentional with yours? Are your gestures, the postures, facial expressions reinforcing your message or creating confusion? Remember, your body often speaks louder than the words you say. Number 4, teamwork communication, the power of collaboration. When killer whales hunt, you may have seen them in those documentaries. They do it together, they are precise, they are coordinated, there is trust. Each member of the pod plays a role, whether it's looking for the prey, blocking escape routes, or delivering the final blow. They work together. This is the power of that collaboration. In our world, it's about sharing responsibilities, trusting one another, and recognizing that we are stronger together. Great communication isn't just about speaking, you know this. It's about listening, supporting, and creating space for others to shine. When we communicate like a pod, we will thrive like a pod. Number 5, adaptability. Change your frequency. In noisy waters, killer whales adjust their vocalizations to make sure their message is heard. This is a great lesson in adaptability. As communicators, we need to read the room and adjust our style to suit the environment. Always remember this. Are you speaking too fast, too formally, too casually? Whether it is a large audience or a more intimate conversation, adjust your tone, adjust your energy, because it is important that your message lands where you want it to. 6, community connection. This is about strengthening your pod. An Orca's pod is everything. It represents family, community, survival. That tight bond is built through constant communication and connection. So, question for you to reflect on: who is in your pod? Whether it's your colleagues, your friends, family, please make time to nurture those relationships. Build trust, share openly, and as I said before, prioritize connection. When your pod thrives, you thrive. Number 7, leadership through influence, one of my favorite terms. Remember, guide, don't dictate. In Orca pods, the matriarch leads with wisdom, experience, care. She doesn't dictate, she guides. Influence, much like leadership, is about empowering others, not controlling them. So, question for you again: how can you guide and inspire the people around you to reach their full potential? True leadership is influence, and influence starts with intentional and meaningful communication. Now, it is time for action. By the way, thank you so much for listening and watching this video until this point. Because here's the thing, killer whales have been teaching us these lessons for centuries. Their communication is a masterclass in connection, in clarity, in collaboration. But these magnificent creatures are under threat. And together, we can protect them so their songs and lessons can echo across our oceans for generations to come. I would like to invite you to click the link below to support the whale Dolphin Conservation, WDC. They are a leading charity dedicated to protecting whales and dolphins. Imagine if you could adopt an orca today and make a real difference. As always, let's make an impacto together. And remember, live fully, learn constantly, and love deeply. See you in the next video.